Greetings and welcome. Today we are in John chapter 3, taking a look at this first page, comparing how our Latin is doing to our Greek, as we've done the previous two chapters. We're nowhere near the end of the paragraph, so I'm not going to give it any fake grade yet. Let's go ahead and get started. But there was a man of the Pharisees. We've got imperfect tense and a partitive with ek. Then in Latin, we got but there was man of Pharisees, imperfect erat, autem and de match, homo and anthropos match, ex and ek. Those two are giving us the same thing, so that's good. Nicodemus was named to him, or Nicodemus was his name. And then in the Latin, we've got Nicodemus by name. So in our Greek, we've got either dative of reference or a dative of possession. If it was a dative of possession, we would expect a verb there. So I added one in, if you recall. In the Latin, instead, we've got an ablative, and that's just specifying. So it fulfills the same purpose, but it's a different type of construction. Latin could have done it the same way. It would have been Nicodemus nomen est a, something like that. But it's a little bit shorter, so that's fine. Let's move on to our next line. Of leaders of the Jews, partitive genitive, possessive genitive. We've got princeps Judaeorum. Here we have a nominative instead of the genitive that we would expect here. It's also singular, so specifically Nicodemus, a prince of Jews. Whereas in here, he is of the leaders of the Jews. As for archon versus princeps, I think that they are, and I could be wrong here, but I think they're very similar in their meanings. This might even come from a word which has a similar idea to this one. So archon, archon is related to arx, maybe, which I think is citadel, or at least Latin has a word like that. Princeps, there might be another word in there that has a similar meaning. Could just be my memory failing right there. But other than the case, all this matches right here, so that is actually a problem. This might have implications for someone who doesn't understand the history, the surrounding information about all of the culture back then, since it's only singular. So they might think, hey, he's the prince of the Jews. Does that mean he is next in line to rule? So there is a possible misunderstanding there, but only if you're really ignorant of history and all that's going on in regards to this and what this term is actually being used for. So it's a minor problem. Let's move on. This man came to him at night, and he said to him. So we've got aorist tense, time when, aorist tense, and then the referent for our verb of speaking. Oh, also yes, demonstrative. Hic, demonstrative, good. Came, perfect or present. We weren't sure because the verb forms for both of those tenses are the same. Since this one is aorist, I'm going to say that our perfect translation is the correct one. That's the one that we would have preferred anyway. To him, pros auton, so those two match. At night, so that's good. Oh, the wonderful sounds of cars pulling away. And he said, we've got a perfect tense with dixit, aorist tense with apen, so that's good. A personal pronoun, and autoi, personal pronoun, both of them fulfilling the same purpose, so that's good. Let's shift this up. Quote, rabbi, and I did spell it correct apparently. Rabbi, vocative for both of them, so that's good. We know, present tense, that, and then we've got a participial phrase, having come, who has come, and this is aorist, so it's a past tense participle. Nominative teacher, from God. Schemus, present tense, so that's good. Hoti and quia, those two match. Apotheu, adeu, those two match. And then from here, we have a deviance in how they're translated. We've got a perfect tense of wenisti, so the tenses at least of those two match, and Latin doesn't have a perfect active participle, so this is really one of the only ways that it could have gone. Teacher is the nominative, and teacher is the nominative. Now, honestly, the Latin just reads better. So we've got a participle here, or it's, it might be that I've mislabeled this. If that's the case, I'll look into it again. I will put a note. But anyway, this, at least as converting into English, makes a lot more sense than this does converting into English. We almost have to supply an additional verb in here somewhere for it to work, and it's my fault for not handling that very well. Sorry about that. But as far as I can tell, a decent match for how Latin can do it. For no one is able to do these signs. Able is present tense. It's a present infinitive, and that's word, the name of which I cannot remember. Nemo and udes, those two work. Good. Gar and for. Sorry, and enim, they work together. Present tense with potest. Present tense. Haec signa, accusative plural neuter. Tauta ta semea, accusative plural neuter. Demonstrative and demonstrative, so that's good. Then we've got a present active infinitive with our present active infinitive right there, so those two work together. Moving on. Which you yourself do. Present tense with a emphatic su right there. Which you yourself do, present tense and emphatic su, so that's good. Unless, if not, is the God with him. Got a present subjunctive right there. Meta autu, theos is nominative, and then our particle for the clause right there. Unless, nisi, eon me, and nisi, those two are equivalent, so that's good. Then we've got either a perfect active subjunctive or a future perfect active indicative. And looking at this, we want a third person singular present active subjunctive. So our Greek is indicating that our Latin is not actually living up to what it should be. Instead of fuerit, what we would want is probably sit, S-I-T, from sum esse fui. That would be the same tense for here. So that is problematic. Cum eo, meta autu, so those two, they're good. They mean the same thing. Greek could also have used soon with the dative. I'm not sure if there's actually a different idea between meta, that is, and soon. Could be, I don't know. Theos nominative, deus nominative. All right, so far so good. So then looking at this, our most glaring issue right now is that we've got perfect active subjunctive or future active indicative instead of the rather easy present, cease, it's not cease, sit, that we want. Then looking back, we use a perfect active indicative instead of this participle right here, but that's all that Latin could do, so that's fine. And it could be even that I've mislabeled this, the note would have told you, and another note right then would also have told you. So that's fine. Dixit nobis venit. Aha. So then our two big issues are, oh yeah, that's in the camera, good. Princeps, which should be principium, I think it's a third IO. Probably not. Principium or principium. Principium sounds better. Anyway, it should be a genitive plural, just like archon is a genitive plural right here. But those are the only two issues that I see. Otherwise, our Latin is doing okay. You've got possible confusion from that. Definite time problems right there, but it's not too big. Well, there we have it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you have a very good day. Farewell. Hey, not asleep yet? That's okay. I've got tons of other equally sleep-inducing videos for you to watch. Check them out.